Hi there! We are going to continue the Project Karlsruhe right now. In this episode you'll see the end restoration of this bottom group from the car. I think you'll like it because I have done almost everything besides one thing. That's the gas tank. Still need to clean them. And first I would like to thank all of you for subscribing and helping and supporting me, because I don't have any bad comments or you all like the content I make. I am really happy about it, and I am gonna keep it that way. Well, a lot of you knows that the painting process isn't something that's gonna be done in 1 week or 2 days or I don't know, one evening, because all of that is not so great experience and not so great result. So I need time, because I would like to last as long as possible this paint on the car. So it will take some time. So besides of all that stuff, I'm really happy for your support, and if there is anything you don't like, just please continue writing it down in comments, because I can only make better stuff if you tell what you mean, so you can be also happy watching my videos. So now take a beer or take a brandy, because this video will be a bit longer. It's hard to put everything in one case. You need to make it 2 or 3 videos, and I didn't want to have third video of it. I wanted to be done in this one. That's the reason this video takes a bit more, but you will like it, trust me. Enjoy! So if you want to get these old and rusty screws out of your exhaust, this is the best tool money can buy for it. It's just amazing. It makes your screw warm without making damage to the paint, and it gets really quickly warm. You can see the smoke coming out right away. No more broken screws. Just like that. Go on, Valerio, with the rest of the screws. Now let's take this rusty exhaust down. Yes! You should mark your oxygen sensor, because there are 2 of them. You don't want to mix those. Oh, yeah. And now support your exhaust. Don't waste your time, just cut all these rubber mountings and install new ones. Now I have a better access. You can see these gearbox mounting points. They are dead a long time ago. It's a great time to change gasket on a gearbox, to clean it all up. You see these marks on drive shaft? Yeah, they are there because these rubber mountings are so damaged, and this whole gearbox is, I would say, 2 centimeters or 3 centimeters lower right now, and this was the noise that I had coming from the car underneath. And also there, this one is so low right now. It used to scratch this heat shield, and this one is also a bit broken. You can see it right here, it is much lower than it should be. And this is original part, has never been changed. Let's remove this drive shaft. This rubber is in great condition. Come off. Come on, come on. Tight. Well, this area looks like new. I wish this whole car looks like this. Well, after 1 hour of cleaning, rubbing and spraying and all that stuff, this is the result. And now all of you will say this has been dry iced, cleaned. Keep dreaming. All done with my bare hands. So this is the line. The rear part will be done now, and this is the difference between the right side of the car and the left side of the car. Isn't it amazing? All I am using is this tornado, this brush, and this one too, and of course some manual brushes, and these are all fluid from your home, so you don't need anything that's aggressive where you're gonna be scared about the paint or undercoating. Nothing about that. This is all the stuff I'm using, and these results are just amazing. You can eat from these parts right now. They are that clean. Just amazing. It's like from the factory. Almost, yeah. You all have seen this, I know. Gonna take care about that. Well, before I mount these heat shields, I wanna spray some high quality wax on a chassis, just in case. This one doesn't look so great, but it doesn't matter. He is still keeping the heat outside from the chassis, and just gonna use new screws. This stupid thing won't go in. But I always win. I always win. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. My dear Lord, look at this mess on the floor. Ta-da! But look at the car underneath right now.
all clean. Just perfect. I do look like a pig, but it doesn't matter. I can tell you one thing. I have saved a lot of money right now. Because if I would pay a company to clean it, to use dry ice, I would pay here in Germany at least 2,500 euros. And now I have spent maybe 30 euros in material. So I'm pretty happy with that. Now I need to put everything back together. All these heat shields, they are over there, will be cleaned also. I'm gonna take this rear axle out and clean it from all the sides and also clean the chassis from above, because I have bad access right now and I do want it to look like this area. And there is a fuel line rusty right there and it goes all the way up and I can't just take it out just like that. I need to drop this rear axle and then I can clean everything and change everything that needs to be changed, and all these metal parts will be shiny like new again. So this car will look like new again from underneath. But if you have any kind of color or someone who sprayed some protection underneath, then you won't get these results. You will need dry ice. But if you have original chassis and original floors without any paint, you can get this result just by your hands.
To clean these parts I'm using soda blast. After that I'm gonna paint it with high temperature clear coat in order to keep it from corrosion, because this is just the easiest and fastest way to clean it and to get the perfect results. So after the blasting and cleaning and rubbing and again cleaning, now it's the time for high temperature clear coat. And with the clear coat all these parts won't be able to corrode because they are clean now. There is no more wax on them, and after they get dry I think I will put also some wax on them, but first thing first will be this clear coat. So now with gearbox being cleaned up, it's the time to change the seal right there and the small one up there. As you can see, this is the stuff I like, all clean. Now you can work properly, and then you can see if you have any leaks later on, you will see them right away. A visible mark. In order to tie this one back again at the same place. Well, this one is hard like a rock. I assume that still original and never has been changed, as usual. I just cleaned everything up. I don't want any oil leaks. A brand new seal, original BMW, and this original securing pin plate, whatever. What I like to put on new sealant is this grease. It is made for rubber, and I do like to put it right here on this lip, just to make sure this one won't be dry when turning. Check the alignment with your finger, make sure it sits fine and straight, like it does. What I also like to do is to put a small amount of grease on this teeth right here, because this one will prevent oil coming out from the teeth. Put this hub in the same place again.
And the next very important thing to do is to put some sealant on this surface right here. BMW did that with a reason, because they had oil leaks on some first models. This is the reason why this nut had already some sealant on it from on this side, and you wanna especially put it back here and on this nut again. I'm using Kuril from L-Ring because this one is elastic all the time and it doesn't get hard. So it means it will seal for, I hope so, for next 20 years. And that's it. We are on the same mark as before. So now we have this security ring back in space, new one. What you want to do is to slack it over here on the top and on the bottom to make sure it can turn around. Time for a clean bracket with brand new gearbox mountings. Actually, I'm just installing it temporarily because I still have to install a drive shaft first, actually, but drive shaft is being overhauled, and this is just a quick solution to get this gearbox back on a chassis till this drive shaft is done. With this position, drive shaft will not have any more contact with this down shield. So that's the next thing being repaired. You can see I have pulled everything out and there is nothing left in there. I have a really great news. I can swear, and I will swear, I swear to God. This fuel line, as you can see, it's dropping fuel right now, and it started actually right now. This car didn't run, wasn't driven. These lines wasn't changed. These are still the old one. I have to do it. I thought this one would be changed. In order to keep a fire away from your engine bay, you need to use these kind of fuel lines. Coal line FPM Eco. They have some other chemicals inside and they are better resistant to fuel than the other fuel lines that the Stratton used. All these lines are dead. So this is the fuel line Stratton used 1 or 2 years ago. They are brand new. He drove this car once, maybe twice. And I saw gasoline leaking out of the engine bay. Thankfully this engine wasn't running at that moment. And all the lines look like this. All these brand new lines. They are just crap. Made in China or I don't know where. They are selling this stupid cheap shit everywhere in Europe, and if you do use them, make sure you check them every half a year or every year if they are damaged, because this line was mounted down there and it was leaking in direction to this exhaust manifold. So this was really luck to find this kind of damage. Can you imagine this one going bad on highway? You're driving 200 kilometers and this one starts to piss on your exhaust manifold. We all know what would happen. We do have a beautiful day, and this beautiful day will be used to take this back axle apart. Well, I know that this is a sketchy construction, but actually I don't have any other table right now to put this axle on, so this one will be used just temporarily. And as you can see, this is where I was done with cleaning, and this is how it looks right now. I mean, thankfully rust free, but still disgusting. And this is how this back axle looks like. No rust, but dirt. With almost 40 years, just driving. Could you please take a look to this result and say nothing? There is one thing I want to say about it. I will never ever talk again about dry ice. Never. Look at this. It's just water and some chemicals. Looks like brand new. This result is amazing. Only took maybe half an hour, and with dry ice you would need few hours to clean it like this. So I saved a lot of money here. And of course I'm gonna clean the rear axle on the same way, but this is just amazing. Good morning, Germany. Let's continue with a cleanup. This is left side wheel housing. A lot of dirt. What else I found is, what I really hate is some jackheads just bent this piece of steel right here, and you can see these cracks in the paint, already rusted. That was only way he could get some big tires and wheels mounted on the car. So it means, because this plastic cover that's gonna be mounted right here again, you can't get it under the slip right now because it's so heavily bent. We do have just normal dirt and just a bit of rust, nothing major. And the same is on the right side. Just normal dirt. I'm assuming we will find some more rust spots after cleanup. But that is exactly what I want to do, to find every rust spot and to clean it, painted it, to get a perfect car again. Same shit happened on this side. I need to make this right again. Looks perfect down here and looks shitty up there. I somehow got used to do all this stuff all alone. And it works. Dry ice is good for absolutely nothing for. Dry ice is good for absolutely nothing for. Yeah! Water, some chemicals and bare hands. Amazing, isn't it? Oh, I'm so happy doing it right now. I'm so happy doing it right now. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, you don't need to spend so much money to clean your car, and you can do it on your own. Dry blasting screws for absolutely nothing for. So folks, I am happy with this result. It's clean as hell. It is really clean. Now I can disassemble the lines and paint them too, because they have some small corrosion right there, and start assembling the rest from the parts. Next step will be to completely disassemble the rear axle, because I need to change the seals on a differential and to refresh all the screws. And at the same time I have one problem. I'm thinking about painting this back axle. Why? Yeah, I'm just the guy who's gonna say, hey, you should have done it. Right now this is original paint from the factory and it's not glossy anymore. It doesn't have rust, it doesn't have any problems with bad looking. It's just, yeah, I'm crazy. I know I am crazy, but I do want to make it look like new again. That's the only thing. So I'm gonna start with disassembly and maybe I change my mind in the meantime. I don't know.
In order to put this bushing back in a rear axle frame, just use some tire mounting compound, grease both sides, and this is great because this one gets dry and it won't allow this bushing to get out again. Yeah, my English sucks, I know. I also made myself some special tool. First one is in, it's not so hard because it's all disassembled and it isn't in a car. And now the second side. Let's make this axle look great again. And again, using Prosol paint, 2 components.
There we are, black as it should be. And right now I am gonna put it in front of this heating guy. I want this paint to be cooked a bit, to be stiffer, because we don't have any sunshine outside, and then will be installed.
As you may remember, Shoul'D told he installed these one news on a rear axle, and this one should be ATE, so this is pretty good stuff. I want to show you a trick how to save these bushings right here. Just pull this metal piece out. And right here you can see just a small amount of grease already dried out, and all this looks still fine, no play, nothing at all, but you should put new grease inside. And then this wishbone can last for another 20-30 years, and you need to change these ones because these are really expensive and really hard to change. Just put a new grease and that's it. And in order to protect this rubber, I'm using a bit of silicone grease to make this rubber soft again and to minimize the risk of breaking. All these parts are painted, prepared and ready to be installed. Let's continue the journey with the rust spots on the chassis. I'm gonna clean this one and this one. Of course, we'll leave it dry, let it rust again. First step will be to cut this edge of this original undercounting, and then I will sandblast all these spots. Well, in order to get rid of the rust between these two pieces, I pull this one apart, and now I can sandblast it all this area right here and protect it again, so it will be rust free again. In order to paint it right, you need to preheat your painting area just to make sure you don't have any moisture on it, and with this kind of painting, this paint won't chip off or won't be rusty again in a few months or years.
this line right here going not in this fuel tank, it's going right there. It's pulling these gases out of tank and delivers to the engine. And you can see this line is completely rusty. This is the main reason why I have removed this rear axle. In order to get to this line, you need to disassemble everything to be able to take it out and to clean it, paint it, protect it, and so on. Yeah. It wasn't that bad. Before we do anything on this differential, let's just check the teeth play like this. The spec is 0.1 millimeters and we have 0.08 millimeters. So it's even better. It's perfect condition. Now I can continue with changing seals and all that stuff. After I have removed all this rust and all paint, not all of it, but the most of it, it is the time to change those gaskets, all three of them, in order to keep this one dry, because this one is fully functional, doesn't have that much miles or kilometers on it, and it was leaking bad on all the sides. I bought original BMW seals because I want all these new seals to be the correct ones and to get it all sealed again. If you are planning to do it on your own, make sure you make a notch or somehow to mark your nut right here, because you don't want to tighten it too much, otherwise you will damage this bearing inside of it. It would be nice, and it would be so easy. The right tool that I actually don't have. That's the reason I call myself old school mechanic. You can put this huge wrench and just take it off. Easy as that. And you should use your brain all the time. After you have cleaned all these pots, use a magnet and just go around to make sure there is no metal shaving or metal parts, anything what would cause damage. You don't need any grease right here, because this is metal and rubber. Rubber is gonna seal the outside. Again, only thing I'm using is this silicone grease inside of it. And you should use a plastic hammer to install a new seal. New seal is in. It's time to clean the surface right here. I'm using just a scotch pad and some WD-40 or some oil and just rubbing it around in order to get completely clean surface again. You should put some amount of grease on the teeth from the inside, just in case that you can prevent oil leaks onto the outside. I'm gonna use my guy, just
like that. Right now I'm gonna disconnect this whole hub right here. If you don't know, there is a mark where it should be. You can see it right here. This one has much smaller place than all the others right here. And it means this one goes up. You can also tune your differential, but don't do it all alone. You can turn this for 2 hours, then you can get more oil into your bearings right there. There is some theory. I have read something on BMW sites, but I'm gonna install it back in the same place. It worked already all these years and it's gonna be installed with the same spot again. If you don't have a special tool to install this seal, like I don't have, you can use this guy and just measure the deepest point of it. It is 21 millimeters. Make sure you place this seal on the same place again. And again, brand new seals. BMW original, the best you can buy. Old one out. Oh yeah, you need oil. I know. You need to measure it again. 21. Exactly the same measurement as before. Clean your shim and your hub. Apply a thin layer of oil on your wheel bearing. Just a tiny bit of Gorilla grease right here for this O-ring to slide better in. Do not forget this shim. Another very important thing is these two screws. You need to apply some Loctite on them because these two holes right there, they are completely submerged. Not submerged. These holes are open. It means all this oil coming up here will go one day through these threads outside of this differential. So these two on the back side of it, you need to apply Loctite. And of course don't forget to clean it before you paint it. I'm gonna change these screws. I have new ones. Just small amount. Only men will understand this. Only men. So actually this differential needs 1.9 liter oil. BMW said you should apply some sealant on this surface. So that's the writing I'm gonna do right now. Remember, do not use too much because all this rest will come off one day and will end up in your differential or your gearbox or your engine. Gearbox and engine is especially bad. If you have a feel that you have applied too much, just whip it off. And continue. A brand new original gasket. What a satisfaction. I know. I forgot the washer. I know I don't have it right now. I wanna have it inside just to look great. Rust is my best friend. Put always a finger on these kind of guys. Take the second boot off. Easy as that. Really important thing you need to know. This is the outside, and in a second I will show you the inside, because inside looks a bit different. Like that. As you can see, this is a different area. For stupid people, they don't make pictures, or for stupid people, they don't mark the stuff by disassembling. I mean, suit yourself. There is nowhere at all. Let's check this one for wear. Gorgeous. You can see a bit, but this is nothing because you can't feel it under your finger. So this is in a perfect shape. Great! What a feeling! Can't believe it! You can't feel it under your finger. So it means it is still in really good shape. All we need to do here is to put new grease and clean it and put it all together with, of course, new boot. Clean your desk. So with this knob right here, this is inside and this is outside, and you can still read this text right here. You can only read it from outside, so it means this one is outside. Put this one straight in and now turn it. Just push it in, take these bearings, slide it in, and last one right here. Now you need to just apply a slight pressure and it is working perfectly. Now what I like to do is clean it again with this spray cleaner. No play. That's exactly what we want. Now it's the time to take this boot off. Like that. Remove the old grease. Before you install your new boot, you should place some tape right here because you have edges that could eventually damage your new boot. Like this. Now use some silicone grease and just slide it over. Put it almost all inside. If you are a BMW driver, you have noticed that these drive shafts always lose some grease and they look like this, always leaking. I'm gonna show you why. Right here you have just a metal piece and no gasket. So when you assemble all this together, there is always just a small gap in this area. And in the time, this grease will come out. It's not a bad thing, but I think it looks shitty. I don't like it. What I like to do is to apply some silicone right here in order to keep this grease inside all the time. This is just more than enough. Take your drive shaft, make sure this surface here is clean and dry, like mine, and now slide it over. As you can see, with ease. Give it a small tap. Now you know it's sitting completely, and now is the time to pull this boot up right here. Don't forget this guy. And in the end, with everything assembled together, use the rest of your grease. And now you can place this upper shield. The reason why I put the screws is to apply some pressure on this surface so that the silicone can dry out in assembled position, because if you do it on the next day or next 2 days, your silicone grease will be thicker than usual, and in the future all this grease inside will stay inside. It won't get out anymore. This is just my way to fix stuff. Don't forget this clamp right here. In order to start the rear axle assembly,
First thing, I need to install all these fuel lines. I took it out because they were rusty, and now they are all clean and painted and whatsoever. I also applied some wax on them, and now it's time to put them back in the car. And the great thing about this crispy Highline is we do have this car right now, and I can see how do these lines come together again. This will be copy paste. Of course, this side also. Should I check it?
No.
No? It is the time to change these rusty hydraulic lines. This is a transmission oil. It is red, maybe you can see it. And this is absolutely wrong one. A brand new one, original BMW. Second line is almost new, used one, but not rusty and maybe 1 year old. Can you spot the difference? The left one has new washers and the right one has still the rusty ones. Someone gonna say I'm crazy, but I don't want any rust parts on this car anymore. Right here is also some small amount of rust, and I do want to change it. Now I can sleep well. No rust and looks pretty good. A brand new mounting. You need to put Loctite on these screws because they could get loose one day. Let's start with the heat shields. Heat shield installed. Right here I had some small amount of rust. I cleaned it all out and I was thinking to paint it in black. Then I figured out it doesn't look good because this car has 50 shades of gray. Down here you have a bit black right there. Then you have this original paint, this protection. Then you have black and I don't know what. So I used black and gray and white to get somehow the same pattern down here, because I didn't want to have any differences down here, and especially on this side. I mean, it looks pretty decent. The problem is I don't have any good table anymore. They are all busy with other engines and stuff and tralala. So right now I'm gonna install the frame first, and all this small stuff will be added separately. Gym time. Power training. Stop. Good. I need to install this bracket first.
There we are. Yeah. Yeah. Oh. Come on in. Come on in. Yeah, baby. This bushing is something you want to tight with the car on the ground. Like a virgin! Yeah. Just come on in. To install this drive shaft you need to twist it just a bit. Right there. One million screws. Leveling sensor going in, downside, right there. Before you put your brakes, you should install your ABS sensor first. Actually, the engineers back in the days, they were pretty smart. They marked the right position to make sure you put it in the right place. Right here. Yeah, not like this. But you know what I mean. So Shoul'D did everything alright. He cleaned the paint from this surface right here. In this case, this brake caliper will stay tight all the time. Put a small amount of grease right here and there also, because this part is gonna rust. Back in place. Now it looks a bit better. And watch out for the cables. They are almost 40 years old. Time to install this heat shield in the rear. The proper way to install the sway bar bushings is to put your car on the bottom actually, but right now I'm still not gonna do it. I raised wishbone and now it's in a driving position, let's say it that way. Now I can tighten these two screws. The main drive shaft was completely refurbished. You should buy yourself a new gasket, because you have a glue right here on the surface. So it means it won't let any grease out and fits perfectly. Of course, only if you buy it by BMW or BMW. Now in the front. So ta-da! I cleaned it up and polished it. I also cleaned this piece and now I wanted to clean the rest of it and found a hole. What do I do now? I know. Cut, weld, cut, weld. This is how it looks like actually right now after welding. I'm not proud. I can do it a lot better. I didn't want to invest a lot of time in this exhaust because it isn't in that great shape. This one will be used just to get the TÜV inspection and to drive the car for the first few kilometers. So after few hours of hard work and polishing and this is the final result. Only these two are painted, the rest is polished. Your exhaust can look like this if you give yourself a lot of time. The time has come to install the next heat shield. Oh my. I successfully made and installed exhaust. Now it's the time to drive the car. Never fully fill your transmission with your maximum capacity from, I don't know, 7 liters. Always start with 2 liters, start the car, let it run for a few seconds, shut it off, check the oil, take another 2 liters, let it run slowly, shut it out, and then do it again with another 2 or 3 liters. If you pour everything in the same time, it is possible that the transmission will push this oil out to the breather. That's not a bad thing, but you will have dirty exhaust and you don't want that. Now it is the time to install this heavy and fortunately not so loud exhaust. I forgot to put a screw and to weld it right here, and after that I should zinc plated it. I don't know why I forgot it. Now I just had to use a new screw and to tighten it here, and the rest probably will be cut. This rubber is so strong, it holds 100 kilo. So. As always, when you disassemble your exhaust, always start in the front with the engine, then with your catalytic converter, then with your mufflers, and then the rear end. The rear end is the last piece you want to mount and tighten, because if you start on the back and after that you pull the things together in the front, your exhaust will have huge tension, and the best way is to start in the front and all the way back to the rear. And I forgot to mention, before you tighten everything down on your exhaust, you need to put the rear bumper in order to set this gap between exhaust and rear bumper, because otherwise you'll have to do it 2 times.
Now you can see this gap isn't that perfect. Let's readjust it.
Push this side up and then tighten the screw.
Well, mine is right now straight, so I tighten everything down. When these two are adjusted, then tighten these two together, and on the end you can tighten these 4 screws. And this is how it looks like right now. I think I'm still not done with the bottom restoration. As you can see, there is some oil leaking from this steering pump. Need to check that again. There is a small rust spot right here. The problem is you don't get any of these like the original one, but I came up to the idea. I have a spare car parts there. I'm gonna use ones from them and gonna sandblast it all the way around, and this one will be changed. So this is still something I need to do, but I can do it only when this bottom carpet is outside of the car. And you all have seen this fuel tank. I don't want to leave it like that. It will be cleaned up in few days, weeks, months, I don't know. Because there is another project waiting right there.